Assalamualaikum. Greetings, everyone. Today, I want to talk about a fascinating intersection: tradition and technology in Malaysia's batik industry. Specifically, I'll be focusing on Kota Bharu, renowned for its vibrant batik scene. The world is digital, but businesses use social media to connect with customers, boost brand, and drive sales. But what about traditional sector like batik? Are they embracing this digital revolution? So, for today, I will present about my research proposal, which title Determinants of Social Media as a Communication Platform Among Batik Vendors in Kota Baru, Kelantan. These are the keywords for my research proposal. Five keywords, which the first one is factor, second one is social media, and next is communication platform, business, and also the batik vendors. Before we start, let's look at the overview of today's presentation. The first one, of course, when we want to begin the presentation or any talk or presentation, we have to make an introduction followed by the problems and objective and research question. Next, continue with chapter 2, which is the literary review, theoretical framework, hypothesis, then the last one, followed by chapter 3, which is the methodology. Okay, the first one is about the introduction. The research topic. This study explores how batik vendors in Kota Baru, Malaysia use social media as a communication platform. For the second one, which is the background, social media is becoming increasingly important for businesses, but traditional sectors like the batik industry have been slow to adopt it. There is a lack of research on how batik vendors use social media. Research shows a gap. We know little about batik vendors in Kota Baru on the use of social media for business, for communication as communication platform. This lack of knowledge limits their ability to fully leverage its potential. This is where we our research came in. We aim to understand how batik vendors use social media as a communication platform. What factors influence their adoption of social media? The perceived advantage and disadvantages of using social media, the level of digital literacy among batik vendors. Remember, traditional and technology can coexist. By understanding how batik vendors use social media, we can empower them to thrive in digital age, preserving their cultural heritage while reaching new audience and achieving sustainable growth. So this is the problem statement of the problem statement of my research proposal. The first problem is a lack of data regarding the usage of social media as communication among batik vendors. While the problem number two is a lack of ability to utilize information technology, while the third problem is a limited knowledge about advantage and disadvantage of social media as communication platform. What is a research proposal without its objective? So the general objective for my research proposal is to assess the usage of social media as a communication platform among batik vendors in Kota Baru, Kelantan. While the specific objective, the first one is to identify the awareness of communication through social media among batik vendors, while the second objective is to critically analyze the advantages and disadvantages of social media as a communication platform, while the third objective is to provide a relevant recommendation for batik vendors. Now let's continue with the research question. The first one is what is the current level of awareness among batik vendors in Kota Baru regarding the use of social media for communication? The second one is what is the perceived advantages and disadvantages of utilizing social media platform for communication among batik vendors. And the last research question is what recommendation can be proposed to improve adoption and effectiveness of social media as a communication tool for batik vendors. Okay, now let's move on to the chapter 2 of the research proposal, which is about literature review or literary review. The literary review one, which is about awareness and adoption, but the vendors are aware of social media's potential but face challenges like digital literacy and cultural preservation concerns. While the second literary review is about advantages, the social media offers wider reach, accessibility, and relationship building opportunities for vendors. While the third one is disadvantages, the challenges include limited resources, information overload, and difficulty engaging followers. Overall, of the literary review is about the social media can be beneficial for batik vendors if they overcome the challenges and leverage its advantages effectively. The theoretical framework that I use is STAR model or technology acceptance model because it is a useful tool to understand why people adopt new technologies. It focuses on two main factors which are perceived ease of use PEU and perceived usefulness PU. PEU or perceived ease of use is about to answer the question how easy do people think it is to use the technology? While the second one is perceived usefulness is how helpful do people think the technology is for them. The key points is the vendors are more likely to use social media if they find it easy to use and helpful for their business. The second one is more research is needed to understand the specific needs and concerns of batik vendors in Kota Baru, while the third point is training and support could help batik vendors overcome challenges and adopt social media more effectively. These are the hypotheses from my research. The first one or the H1 is there is a positive relationship between the awareness of batik vendors and the usage of social media as a communication platform, while the hypothesis 2 perceived advantages of social media as a communication platform positively influence its usage, while the hypothesis 3 the perceived disadvantages of social media as a communication platform negatively influence its usage, while the hypothesis 4 perceived ease of use has a significant effect in usage of social media as a communication platform, while the last hypothesis, hypothesis 5, perceived usefulness has a significant effect in usage of social media as a communication platform. Okay, now let's move on to the chapter 3 of the research, which is about the methodology. I use a quantitative research approach because this approach is a structured questionnaire to collect data on social media usage among batik vendors in Kota Baru. While for the research design, I use descriptive as it provides a detailed picture of how batik vendor utilize social media platforms, including frequency, types, purposes, perceived benefits and challenges. This will be achieved through analyzing the quantitative data collected through the questionnaire. For the population, I would say it is for batik vendors in Kota Baru, Kelantan, and the sampling technique used is simple random sampling because it ensures equal opportunity for every vendor to be selected. It requires a complete list of all vendors in the area and the sample size based on study scope, resources, and desired accuracy. While the sample size, why sample size is important? Because choosing the right sample size is crucial for getting accurate information about the larger population. There is a previous studies which is the similar studies use so a small sample size around 200, and the target population will cover the Batik vendors in specific area within Kota Bharu. Sample size determination will I use Crazy Morgan formula, which suggests a sample size of 270 for a population of 500. Okay, now let's move to the research instrument. The questionnaire design, it is a closed-ended questions for easier analysis. It has 7 sections, including demographic, social media understanding, awareness, advantages, disadvantages, perceived ease of use, and perceived usefulness. I use 7-point Likert scale for response options, and for the pilot test, there are 30 participants to ensure question clarity and participant willingness. Crumble alpha to assess the reliability between zero point 0.6 to 1.0 range. And data collection procedure it is a administered electronic questionnaire, and how the procedure is: we distribute the questionnaire, collect, compile, analyze, and report data. Okay, thank you for listening to my presentation. I think that's all for me for my research proposal. For the presentation of my research proposal, titles Determinants of Social Media as a Communication Platform Among Batik Vendors in Kota Bharu, Kelantan. Thank you, that's all from me. My name is Nurhawani, and thank you. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.